You are tuned into the Literacy Hour with Test Taking Solution and your host, Dr. Kentrell Liddell, MD, MBA. The purpose of this show is to help mitigate health disparities, improving literacy related to health, economics, and education. For all your professional development, professional management, and educational support services needs, contact Test Taking Solution, where we're igniting success. Located at 2104 Thousand Oaks Drive in Jackson, Mississippi. Literacy is knowledge and knowledge is power. Thank you for joining the Literacy Hour. All right, good morning, everyone. It's so good to be back on the Literacy Hour. And just like Brother DJ Larry Armstrong said this morning, my God is always in charge.
When we do all we can to do what's right, I'm wondering, do you ever have to lay awake and cry all night long? Tell me, will the Lord help you win this fight? All you got to do, y'all, is go on. God is still in charge of my life.
Yes.
God is still in charge.
It's okay to sing along.
Still in charge of my life.
Welcome to the Literacy Hour. We have fun learning on the Literacy Hour.
I'll tell you one more thing, Michael.
Yes.
I lay awake at night, thinking about all the things that's happened upon me. I'm gonna keep my hand in God's hand.
That's a good place to keep it.
As a wife, He promised to set me free. You know what you can do. Laugh in my face if you want.
Wow.
Talk about me behind my back.
Talk about me behind my back. Wow.
It really don't make no difference to me.
Makes no difference.
You know why?
Why?
I'm praising a man who died and went on home to glory.
Yes.
As a wife, He promised me faithful. He was coming back. All I got to do is go on. Go on. God is still in charge of my life.
Wow.
I'm gonna go on. Go on. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. God is still in charge.
Wow.
Still in charge of my life. Oh, Lord. God is still in charge.
Well, I might just be allowed to join the choir this upcoming Sunday. Boy, I tell you what, God is still in charge, and my brother Larry Armstrong knows just what to do. I'm just so proud of him and his talents, and boy, you just can't get any better than that. Welcome to the Literacy Hour, everyone. This is the time of the morning on Tuesday when we get a chance to talk about some resources that are available. And We also get a chance on this first Tuesday, which is Education Literacy Tuesday, to learn some new words. Yes, I see you, Macon, Mississippi, my beautiful hometown. So glad to see you in. I see you, Jackson. Some of you are tuned in to our YouTube channel. That's the Test Taking Solution Foundation channel. Thank you. And some of you are coming to us by way of radio. We thank you so very much for doing so. You did not have to, but you did. And we're so glad to have you. I thank the team for putting our Facebook and Instagram channels up on the screen. Thank you so much. And thank you for welcoming everyone to the Literacy Hour as well. So there are some things that you can see on um, the YouTube channel that you cannot see when you are tuning in via the radio, but that's all right. Yes, I see you, Hattiesburg and Summerall, and yes, I see you too, Greenville. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the Literacy Hour. You know that you're going to receive some relevant, up to date, accurate information to enhance literacy. I am your host, Dr. Kentrell Liddell, and I just believe that when we are better informed, we can make better informed decisions. We cannot be expected to act on what we do not know. So when we learn better, we now have the opportunity to do better. I say the opportunity because now, just because we learn better, some of us don't necessarily do better. And I hope that in 2026 we change that. When we learn better, we ought to do better. Today is education literacy around here, the Literacy Hour, and I have a lot of news to share on the educational front. But before I do any of that, it looks like I have my wonderful guest in the studio. Boy, I met this young lady some time ago, and I've been so impressed ever since. Her name is Aura Answers. Aura Answers, good morning.
Good morning to you. How is everyone today? I'm so happy to be joining you today, and I'm excited for our show today.
Oh, wonderful. It's so good to have you in. Listen, everyone, we have the voice of the youth with us. She's early 20s and has sisters and brothers and ranging in age from preteens to early 30s. So, man, we get the gamut. The voice of the youth here on the Education Literacy Tuesday of the Literacy Hour. The primary purpose of Aura Answers presence is going to be to provide us with that youthful insight. Now, I'm not saying that I'm old. I'm just saying that um, I was very intrigued by some conversations I've had recently with Miss Aura Answers, and I thought, that's an interesting perspective that perhaps our listening audience of the Literacy Hour would like to hear as well. You know, we just need to hear more from our youth. I hear from them every day. You know, I mean, over at the Test Taking Solution, I tell you what, Wednesdays and Thursdays are lit because boy, they educate us. So welcome, Miss R Answers. So glad to have you. Now, the way we're going to do this now, I'm going to be sharing some things, Miss R Answers, and every now and then I want to hear the voice of the youth. I want to hear what your perspective, and of course, you bring along the perspective of all those age ranges I just provided. Would that work for you?
Yes, that would.
Okay, well, let's
Yes,
go. You
ma'am.
know, it's February and it's traditionally designated for awareness of Black history and the issues of the heart. This month, all across our social media, we will be raising awareness about cardiovascular disease. And every Tuesday this month on the Literacy Hour, we will share a Black history fact. Now, you know, the mission of our Test Taking Solution Foundation is to enhance literacy. And by doing so, I hope that we will be able to mitigate some of these disparities. Yes, we have too many of them, and I just want us to do better, okay? As a state, as a nation, I want us to do better. And so we have a fact about Black history and so many facts, and we won't have time this month to go through everything. But I do want our listening audience to know this morning that the first celebration of Black history took place in February 1970. Man, you know, you would think that it would have been
um, around much longer than that, but it took place in February 1970. When you hear anything about the 1900s, Miss Aura answers, what does your generation think about 1970? When I say that year, what comes to mind?
1970, what comes to mind would, of course, be the 70s. And, there was a lot going on in the 70s, a lot of things that, a lot of people wouldn't. Well, when I think of the 70s, I think party, I think big hair, I think bell bottoms, I think, mm, not, I
Well, that's
think
enough
drugs.
to think. That's enough
Yeah.
because I'm actually amazed that your generation would know that much about the '70s in terms of attire. So the fact that you went to clothes and stuff that tells me already it confirms you like fashion, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh
I do very
wow,
much.
wow. Wow, Literacy Hour listening audience. We're going to get some fashion advice as well from Miss Aura Answers. Well, within 6 years, it was recognized nationally, and that being the Black History Month. The month long celebration gives all Americans a chance to reflect on the history, the very rich history of African Americans. I'm African American. I'm very proud to be. Miss Aura Answers is African American as well. And Miss Aura Answers, our wide, rich history includes many achievements, and those achievements have helped to support us even during the struggles that we endure to this day. Over 50 years later, we continue to set this time aside in February to
Yes.
praise Black Americans who have excelled, overcome, and made history. Of course, there is much more history to celebrate that can fit into this 1 month's time. But I want you to join us back here on the Literacy Hour every Tuesday this month because we will be sharing with you a Black history fact. Now, in 1870, Hiram Rhodes, that's Rhodes, Rebels, Hiram Rhodes Rebels, REV as in volleyball, ELS, became the first African American elected to the U.S. Senate. Yes, 1870. 1870. It shocked me. I didn't know about that. You see, it was
Mm.
a lot of things not taught in the school system about Black history. We learned a lot about Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King, and those are very, very important African Americans who did a lot for us down through history. But we have some living legends as well. Oprah Winfrey comes to mind, Barack Obama, and so many other. We have local living legends. And over at St. Matthew, 3660 Fontaine Avenue on third Sunday this month, Miss Aura Answers, we're going to be proudly honoring some living legends. I'm talking about people,
Wow.
yes, who were born back in the 1930s. And we will be
Mm.
learning a lot from them. So the public is welcome. Everybody, come on over third Sunday to Fontaine Avenue and get to meet these living legends. We'll be talking more about them as the time draws near. But for this morning, I wanted to introduce to everyone Hiram Rose Rebels, the first Black man elected to the U.S. Senate in 1870. He was born in 1827 in North Carolina, and during his early adulthood, Revels was imprisoned in Missouri for preaching to other people of African American descent. Put in prison in Missouri. Despite his previous imprisonment, Revels
Mm.
continued his passion for preaching and became the first Black pastor of the Madison Street Presbyterian Church in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, during the Civil War, rebels raised Maryland's first two Black regiments for the U.S. Army and fought at the Battle of Vicksburg right here in Mississippi. In 1870, the Mississippi State Legislature elected him to fill a vacant Senate seat. That's right. And you all know that our legislature right here in our state is meeting now. They are debating bills and helping to craft legislation or laws that will become effective once they in the legislature this year. You know, they come out April the 5th. And sometimes those laws are effective upon signage by the governor, and sometimes they are effective in July. But whatever the case may be, just know that our legislature went into session in January, and they are still meeting right now. So if you know your legislators and you know some bills that are being debated or discussed, call them and let them know how you feel about it. They want to hear from you. Well, I take that back. I don't know if they all want to hear from you, but I do know that there are some who enjoy hearing from their legislators. Miss Aura answers, did you know
Yes.
that we have senators and representatives right here in the state of Mississippi during this time making laws?
Yes, ma'am. Before the, I guess, aesthetics of the radio. No. Would you tell me more about it? I think I'd like to
Okay.
know a bit more about it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when you were in high school, elementary school, um, did anyone talk about this time of year that hey, our legislators are up there in Jackson or down there in Jackson, making some laws? Did anyone ever talk about it?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. Wasn't much. Not really. Not really, but yes.
okay, because I think that it's part of life skill building, and I think it's important that we all are aware of when the legislative sessions come in play. But of course, you all had a lot of other things to learn while you were in school. But I would have thought that doing social studies, United States history, Mississippi history, those sort of classes, that some of this would have been talked about. But I'm not surprised. You know, again, even Black history itself is under attack, and we don't talk a lot about Black history anymore in the school system. And that's why, for the month of February, here on the Literacy Hour, we will continue to discuss and mention some Black history facts. So, having said that and shared our Black history fact for the morning, I want everyone to remember Mr. Rebels, the first African American elected to the U.S. Senate. I'm just so happy that he came by way of Mississippi. I told you, we are Mississippi strong. The Mississippi State Legislature elected him to fill that vacant Senate seat, and he used that opportunity to fight against Reconstruction era racial discrimination. So sounds like he was a senator
Amazing.
about that business. I want to segue right now, and this is Education Literacy Tuesday, and talk a little bit about what's going on with student loan borrowers. Student loan borrowers. Student loan borrowers can be prepared for some major changes coming this year. You know, they've had a tumultuous few years, people who have borrowed money to attend school, and those tumultuous times are likely to continue in 2026. Repayment plans for all the borrowers and borrowing limits for some programs are set to change this year. And meanwhile, millions of borrowers are behind on their payments and risk facing some of the harshest consequences, you all, of the student loan program if they don't start paying their loans back. And behind the scenes, changes at the U.S. Education Department can make many of these transitions a little bit more challenging. So I just want to encourage everyone to know about your repayment plan if you happen to have student loans, because the education department announced in December, and we let you all knew about it back then, that it planned to scrap the SAVE plan, which was a Biden era repayment program,
Oh,
and it
wow.
had been mired in litigation for a few years. The announcement came as part of a settlement with the state of Missouri, which had sued over that plan. And anybody who was on the SAVE forbearance plan, you need to make sure that and do your research to make sure that you haven't been switched to some other payment plan. The Department of Education just suggested everyone go to studentaid.gov. That's studentaid.gov. And on there, you can use the loan simulator tool to get a sense of what are the options you might have. So Again, for student loan borrowers, just want you to be aware. For parents, there are new loan limits and more limited repayment options. So, looks like it's causing college and higher education to be out of reach for even more people. So let's just stay tuned and understand what's going on with student loan borrowing. Follow us on Facebook at TT Solution LLC and on Instagram at the same handle to see what we're up to at any given time. It's a lot, and we will continue to push important news and information related to education, to health. Okay, we discuss health literacy on second Tuesday. Can't wait for next Tuesday. And then on third Tuesday, financial literacy, and fourth Tuesday, mental health and wellness. And fifth Tuesday, whenever they come around, we discuss all things technology Tuesday. Okay, the call in number is 601 714 8378. You can call in at any time. We will yield to you, especially if you have some great information and resources to share with our listening audience. At Test Taking Solution, we encourage our scholars to expand their vocabulary. So, this morning on the Literacy Hour, Miss R answers, as we do every first Tuesday, Education Literacy Tuesday, we define a word. And today is not even a word, it's actually three letters. And I'm sharing this uh, three letters with my listening audience this morning because I learned something new. Okay. I thought that BBL stood for Big Bootylicious. That's what I thought. Now don't knock me now, Miss R answers, because now
Oh my God.
I had the conversation with you. And I'm not afraid to say when I'm wrong. And
Absolutely.
yes, and some folks need to take a page out of my book. Now, you may not know this, Miss R answers, but the Oxford's Dictionary word of the year was rage bait. You got
Rage
any?
bait.
Yep, rage bait. You got any idea what that means?
Absolutely, I do have an idea what the word rage bait means. Um, it's basically when you provoke someone to anger on purpose for the sake of a
Wow.
joke.
Wow, rage
Yeah,
bait. Putting bait out there to get somebody mad.
absolutely. It's funny
Oh,
sometimes. Sometimes it's, well, not nice, but that's
hmm.
today's, that's what we do today.
That's what we
Sometimes.
do today. And I love it because see, and you are providing that voice of the youth. You knew right immediately what that word what stood for, and actually is two words, right? But Oxford Dictionary made it the word of the year last year. 2025 word of the year is rage bait. And since Oxford's dictionary went off script a little bit, I feel that today I can go off script a little bit. Usually I review a word that's found in the Webster's dictionary. But today, I feel like I need to review a word that's actually three letters, this BBL, because I see it all the time. Certainly in social media comments. And I didn't know. I mean, they would have pictures alongside it. So again, I thought it was Big Bootylicious. The three letters are BBL. And what they really stand for are Brazilian butt lift. Brazilian butt lift. Call in though if you're just pulling up to your child's school. I'll give you some time to let them get out. But we must be informed. We've got to be informed. And I'm just so glad my team informed me that I was wrong about the Big Bootylicious. It ain't that. It stands for something real, you all, and that's Brazilian butt lift. These are there's some people walking around who've had this procedure done, so I had to learn more. I mean, it just wasn't in my medical books. It wasn't in my medical journals. I had
Hmm.
never heard of it. It makes the natural booty girls and the women feel some type of way is what I learned from you, Ms. Our answers, as we were talking about it here recently. The natural booty girls feeling some type of way. So I want to know, just from the youth standpoint, why?
Um,
Why?
I don't think it's that they generally feel some type of way. I think it's more so that um it's it's what's pushed out among social media a lot. And so that's all we see, but they don't advertise the fact that they have a BBL, so you don't know what's natural and you don't know what's not sometimes. Um, and because that's all you see, it sets a bit of some unrealistic expectations for some people.
And you know what I find interesting? The way BBL just rolled off your lips just then. I mean, just like it's just another word. Ain't that something? That's why I'm glad to have you, because I really enjoy listening to the youth who attend our test taking solution after school program. And I enjoy listening to the staff and just learning more. And the way BBL just rolled off your lips just then, you would think that you've said it many, 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 many times.
I
But you don't.
probably have.
Oh, you don't have to answer that. Listen, BBL does not stand for big bootylicious. It stands for Brazilian butt lift. Now, what is a Brazilian butt lift? According to this aesthetics group, a cosmetic surgeon, he said a Brazilian butt lift, or BBL, is a cosmetic procedure designed to enhance the shape and size of the buttocks using your own body fat. Mm, mm, mm. And then this guy, a doctor, actually invented it. Pitanguy. He invented the BBL, and he did it, for a good reason. He had good intentions. He wanted to correct buttoctosis. Now,
Mm,
ptosis, everybody, it has a silent P. P as in Paul. It has a silent P in front of it. Ptosis. That's ptosis. That's when something is sort of sagging or drooping. Ptosis. Buttock ptosis. That's why he invented the BBL, to correct buttock ptosis, a sagging buttock. And even though butt implants were already a thing, they were made with the same kind of implant used for breast augmentations. These implants felt unrealistic, and leading to them to become somewhat unpopular, whereas the BBL uses a person's own body fat. And that creates this realistic look and feel. And that's what has led to its popularity. Now, I was interested in learning more about this procedure. And so I did some research and learned that unlike traditional implants, a BBL involves fat transfer. It makes it a more natural option for those seeking a fuller, more contoured silhouette. All right. This process involves two main steps, everyone: liposuction. That's where you harvest fat from another area of the body, like the abdomen, the thighs, or the flanks. And then fat transfer. So you have the liposuction aspect of the BBL procedure and the fat transfer aspect of the BBL procedure. The fat transfer, that harvested fat, they purify it. And then they inject it into the buttocks to create a
mm,
rounder, fuller, and more lifted look. Did you know that, Miss R Answers?
yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
do think that sounds a bit painful if you ask me, but
well, it does. It
no.
does. Liposuction and fat transfer. Those are the two main aspects of the BBL procedure. And I heard you say last week when we were talking about this that there's a difference between a good BBL and a bad BBL.
Absolutely.
Oh wow! Ooh, you
Absolutely. There is.
sound like you feel some kind of way about that. You know that there's everybody listen, we're hearing from the youth. And for those of you who swear you love the youth and want to help the youth and this and that, I hear so many people talking about let's guide the youth and do this for the youth and this, and you don't even hear from the youth. And as a matter of fact, some of you may have tuned out this morning because we have someone early 20s who has sisters and brothers ranging from preteens to early 30s on the line with us this morning. She's in studio. Her name is Aura Answers, and she's going to be back. And I want you, good, better, indifferent, to hear from our youth. Let's see what they're talking about, how they're feeling about some things. And Miss Aura Answers, I thank you for being willing to come on, because it takes some courage to come on and to speak with thousands of people whom you may not even know. And so I thank you. But this difference here between this good BBL and this bad BBL,
Mhm.
elaborate.
Well, a good BBL, of course, you probably wouldn't notice that it's a BBL. It's kind of right there in your face now. A bad BBL is something that we see a lot. I'm not gonna name any names because
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
but a bad BBL would be like the hips might not match the thighs, or the butt
Oh.
part might just be a bit too big. When you walk in the room, it kind of just so that's
So
yes,
proportions
proportions.
is
Yes,
disproportionate. The body parts are then disproportionate. They don't really look
it's
like
not as cohesive.
okay, okay, it doesn't look as natural.
Yeah,
Okay. I was interested in learning how long a BBL actually lasts. If we're doing a liposuction and a fat transfer, and I learned that, they're considered to be semi permanent. There are factors that influence that longevity, results like the fat adhering to the new location. Certainly, I can visualize this actual surgical process, and I'm, looking to try to figure out exactly how the surgeons cause this fat to adhere to that new location in the buttock, migration of the fat after surgery. After you have transferred it to this new spot, what keeps it from migrating, and how well the patient will maintain her body weight after surgery. Just all of those kinds of things. I'm a scientist, okay? And so those questions come to mind. Many people who have undergone the procedure, though, still see results of the surgery 10 plus years later, is what I found. And this question of do they migrate? The answer is yes. That implanted fat from a new BBL can migrate. Most people are told to avoid sitting directly on their buttock after surgery due to the possibility of fat migration. So that's really all I'm going to say about this BBL deal, because when I learned about it, and had been seeing it pop up in so many comments, I said, now I know if I got it wrong, BBL talking about some big booty lish, I know that there are some other folks who don't know what it means either. Well, now we all know it means Brazilian butt lift. It's a butt lift. And I'm still though, will continue to feel like um I don't know. Cosmetic surgery in general is something that I wonder about sometimes. It's a necessary procedure after someone has been injured, and some body part has been damaged. That's one thing. But in terms of vanity, you know what I'm saying? Miss
yeah,
Ara answers, sometimes these BBLs, people are getting them to quote unquote look better. Is that it?
yes, and I think it's also to fit that certain standard that that we see pushed out everywhere online.
You keep saying that, and I just love that you're sharing that, and you're sharing it honestly. What you're saying to me is that our youth really are being influenced by social media. That's what I hear you saying. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're in
Mm.
a day and age where the internet, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Hey, that's all us.
Well,
We
let's.
mm,
So
yeah.
when you cannot get to your phones, do y'all feel so? Okay, yeah, you're laughing. Do y'all feel some type of way? Okay, let me paint this scenario. And there are some parents out there, and they know that their children are on these mobile devices just far too much, and they're probably not doing their homework, or they're rushing through their homework. They're rushing through doing tasks. Chores at home to get to these mobile devices. Would you then say, Miss R answers, that the mobile devices are addictive, that you can't live without them?
Me
Just in your
personally,
experience, yeah, you and your sisters and brothers and that whole gamut of youth that are kin to you and that you are around. How do y'all feel if somebody took your phone?
yeah, a lot of us are actually very connected to our phones because we're just attached to them. But there's some of us, maybe some of us in the older range, um, we're kind of okay without having our phones, but that's because we kind of grew up in the area where you sit down on the TV, you sit down at the TV, you can, excuse me, you go outside and You're just in the now. But there's also this generation of us that were just born with, I guess, a tablet in our face, and that's what we're used to. So,
And I appreciate that
yeah.
honest answer. I've said to several adults, particularly those in my generation and above, that it's not the youth's fault. I mean, literally, you were born during a time when we had computers and mobile devices, and it's not your fault. So I appreciate you saying that. We were born when we were born, they were here, and that's all we know now. And so we have to learn how to regulate the amount of time that students and scholars and youth are on these mobile devices. We see actually at some of the schools, at least I've heard from the principals, that more students are wearing eyeglasses now than ever before. As a matter of fact, they lose them. They have boxes of glasses that children have lost and laid down. And I just believe that a lot of it has to do with having their face in these mobile devices for an extended period of time. But listen, I want everyone to know that our legislative session is ongoing right now, and that there are some bills being considered at this time that have to do with these cell phones. Senate Bill 2099, Senate Bill 2099. It requires or would require public schools to adopt policies prohibiting or restricting cell phone possession or use by students in class. It was introduced by Senator Briggs Hobson, an act to require each public school district, public charter school, agricultural high schools, certain high schools to adopt and send to the State Department of Education no later than January 1st, 2027, a specific policy banning the possession or restricting the use of cell phones by students during class or while under the supervision and control of a school employee. So there's
Hmm.
certainly, yeah, some legislation that's being considered. A little later on in the show, we're going to review House Bill 2. And House Bill 2, Ms. R answers, just so you know, is the Mississippi Educational Freedom Program Act of 2026. It's a big bill. It's an omnibus bill, has a whole lot in it. It's the Mississippi Educational Freedom Program Act of 2026. And so a little bit later in the show, we'll be reviewing that and talking about that. But first, I want to mention to everyone that our after school program is going strong. Children are learning, and one of our students placed first in his school's science fair. He's now headed to the regional science fair, and he is so excited. Yes, he developed his idea and learned how to apply the scientific method right here at Test Taking Solution. And we're mighty proud of him and of all of our scholars. They are learning and they are growing. We share some education news that's happening over at Jackson Public School District. Don't forget the graduation ceremonies are right around the corner. They will be held May 26th and 27th at the Mississippi Coliseum in Jackson. Murrah, Provine, and Jim Hill will be on Tuesday, May 26th, and Callaway, Forest, and Lanier will be on Wednesday, May 27th. Mississippi Today shared with us some very enlightening news. I was so happy to read about the students' JPS plan that they're trying to get third graders to read on grade level. And I shared it with you before, but I want to remind some of you, and then some of you never heard about it. So this is your first time hearing about the new bold plan that aims to help more Jackson third graders read on grade level. Michael Cormack felt that he'd been punched in the stomach, the article says. In May, Jackson Public Schools Deputy Superintendent, and that's Deputy Superintendent Michael Cormack. He was at his desk in the district's central office with the most recent third grade reading test results spread in front of him. And as he thumbed through those papers, it showed that just over half of the students tested passed that state assessment on the first try. And so a knot grew in his stomach. He thought, no, we can do better than this. And so Project 75 was born at that time. Project 75 is a reading initiative with an ambitious goal. It's going to boost the percentage of third graders in JPS who pass the state assessment on the first attempt. We want to try to get that pass rate from the 55% level to 75%. That's why they call it Project 75. 75% of the kids passing that state assessment on the first try. Now, many of you may know that the students do get 3 tries to pass that third grade test. They call it the reading gate test, but it is a requirement that students pass the reading test in order to be promoted to the fourth grade. And so we are very grateful that our third graders who attend the after school program at Test Taking Solution have been doing really well on that test. They've been passing it with flying colors, and we are grateful. Last year, we held a reading boot camp to help prepare students just a week before the test was given, and all of those students who attended passed that test. So we're very thankful that the test exists. Number one, I'm glad that they're being tested to make sure that students are reading on grade level. I'm happy about Project 75, and I just believe it's going to help a lot of students. I don't know if you know this, but if you definitely need to, there's a significant increase in homeless families at the start of any of the school year. Not just tied to the apartment crisis, affordable housing remains a major need, and I want you to know that JPS pays for hotels to house families. That's right. I heard from some of the leaders, and they asked me to share, and I'm certainly sharing it because I didn't know that, and I'm glad they let me know that there are some families who are homeless, and they actually pay for hotels to help house families from time to time when there
It's
is a
great.
significant need. And so Miss R answers, when you were attending school, did you know of any of your co-students, any of your classmates who were homeless?
Yes, I actually know a few. They were probably staying out of their cars or they got kicked out by a parent at some point and probably had to couch hop. But it's hard to be in that situation when you're young, and I think that this program is a great, helpful program because, it's getting cold and a lot of people just aren't able to be out here on the streets.
Wow. And I heard you use a word again. It just rolled off your lips. Words that I know I, as an as an older adult, and I'm sure some of my colleagues and friends in my generation would not have used as easily. You said couch hop. My
Oh,
goodness.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you explain that couch hop?
So couch hopping is just basically when a person is mm, going from house to house, whether that be with family or friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going house to house asking someone if they could, stay on their couch, or maybe if they have another bed in the house available, they would stay there. But it's basically just staying in a place where the home is not yours physically.
Okay. Okay, couch hop. Thank you so much. And see, that's why I love having you here. Thank you. And I'm certainly going to be, referring to you from time to time, asking you what you think about certain things. And so I appreciate you being so patient and kind as you listen to the things that I share with our listening audience. Hines County School District 2026-2027 pre-kindergarten open enrollment is still going on. It started January 19th. It will last until February the 6th. Child must be 4 years old before September 1st and must be a resident of the Hines County School District and must be fully potty trained in order to enter that pre-kindergarten program. Thank you so much. You guys are emailing and you're texting. You feel free to call in. The call-in number is 601-714-8378. Thank you guys for putting that up on the screen just so people can have, okay, let me just take some of these comments. Let's see. Youth need positive affirmation and acceptance as they are in their maturation development. Absolutely. I agree, couldn't agree more. They need positive affirmation. Yeah, it's not their fault. They not bad children. I mean, they grew up at a time. They didn't ask for these electronics to be here. They're here. And so we have to help guide them in their usage of them. We also must accept and affirm our youth. They don't have to go and get the Brazilian butt lifts and all these other cosmetic surgical procedures done. They're beautiful, and we should tell them that more. Students had vast eye issues 20 years ago, had whole classes with prescribed glasses, though only 2 to 3 wore them. Wow. This teacher's, wow, that is a bold and very helpful comment. Thank you for making that you had classes where everybody in the class was wearing eyeglasses except for a few, and then only 2 or 3 of those actually wore the glasses. My goodness. You know what? When they come to the after school program, if we know that they've been prescribed glasses, we say, put your glasses on. And do you know they get excited after they get their questions right? They put their glasses on, and before you know it, they are answering their questions absolutely right. And they're like, oh man. And sometimes when it's time for them to answer another question, we'll hear students say, let me get my glasses. So let's all continue to encourage them to wear those prescribed glasses. Yes, thank you. Oh, wow. Miss R answers, this happens every Tuesday. We're getting comments from all over the place. And I'm just going to mention a few more, guys, and then we're going to get back on track. We only have an hour. If JPS wants reading at grade level, they would put TTS at the helm of it. Oh man, that is amazing. That is such an amazing comment. And listen, we would handle it. I guarantee you, Test Taking Solution would handle it. How sweet. If you really want your student to read on grade level, please give the job to TTS. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, listener, for sharing that. That is such an awesome comment. And I appreciate that. 2008, 2009, JPS operating budget was $500 million. 500 million? What? Plus.
Yeah.
Today, the budget is 300 million to 400 million. And I wonder why the budget has fallen. Probably because they don't have as many students. I don't know. Let me take some of these text messages. Let's see now. Is single black mothers' fault? What? They are letting them phones and tablets raise the children. Uh-oh. Ooh, I want this caller to call in, man. It's the single black mother's fault. They are letting them phones and tablets raise these children. What? Okay, let me see what else we got. Oh, Miss R answers. Wow, we got some comments out here. And they say they don't want to call because they say, Dr. Liddell, we interrupt you. We don't want to interrupt you. You got to keep going. You ain't got but an hour. And we want to hear it all. Let me see here.
I feel like that's a pretty loaded response.
Yes, it is. Single black women and single black mothers are at fault. Single black mothers are the ones getting the BBL, and the single what? And a black dad will get his child some help. Listen, caller, you call in, whoever you are. Please call in so we can unload what you're talking about. Let me get back to some very important news. Hattiesburg School District, I don't have anything to share today, but that was Hinds County School District and Jackson Public School District where I shared some information. I do very quickly want to review the superintendent's annual report, and that's our state superintendent. That's right. The state superintendent has put out his annual report. And guess what? We have it up on our website. So if you go over to ttsfoundation.org, ttsfoundation.org, and you click on the literacy hour, you are going to see that we have already posted the superintendent's annual report 2024-2025, and it is beautiful. Man, I love how this man gets down. I mean, excellence. Do you hear me? I love it. And I would put it up against any state, anywhere. I sit on a few national boards, and I tell you, this is top of the line. This state superintendent put out this report and didn't wait to the middle of the year. I mean, he got it right out. I'm still waiting on the Mississippi State Department of Health, and I can't wait because y'all know I'm waiting on the infant mortality rate for 2025. I want to know what it is. We have been in awe and just absolutely flabbergasted about the 2024 infant mortality rate. Babies dying before they reach their first year of life. 9.7 being our state infant mortality rate. 15.2 being the rate in the Black community is unacceptable. Absolutely got to do something about it. And all hands are on deck. People are working on the issue now. Well, that was 24's numbers, okay? And we've been talking extensively around these parts about the 2022 numbers, 2023 numbers, 2024. This atrocity didn't happen overnight. It's been something that's been brewing. Well, our state chief health officer, Dr. Daniel Etney, had the wherewithal, the strength, the foresight to say, enough is enough. He put his foot down and he issued a public health emergency order. Yeah, back last August. And so we've been following that. We're going to continue to follow it. And I'm waiting on the 2025 numbers. And as soon as I know them, you're going to know them. But for now, today on Education Literacy Tuesday, the superintendent's annual report is out. Mississippi State Board of Education's vision is to create a world-class educational system that gives students the knowledge and skills to be successful in college and in the workforce. And I'm glad they said that, because not everybody is going to college, and it just is what it is. Hinds County. Okay. Thank you all so much. Y'all sharing. Hinds County Public School District says winter break staff professional development day and parent teacher conference is going to be Monday, February 16th. That's the Hinds County School District. I got the best listening audience in the world. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Got another text that just came in here. You're supposed to give your 2-year-old son a ball to play with and a book to read, not an iPhone. Woo! Boy, what's some powerful comments, man. And if you're bold enough and you want to call in and talk about it, I certainly will put you on air. But that's amazing. Give your 2-year-old son a ball to play with. Give him a book to read instead of an iPhone. Let's get back to this superintendent's report, though, because I want to share some things with you. It has a lot of facts and figures in it. It was a year of historic progress. Yes, we got something to brag about, man. We're Mississippi strong. A year of historic progress. We even had national recognition. You know all about it, particularly if you are an avid Literacy Hour listener, because we talk about it around here. Yes, so you are in the know. And to stay in the know, you need to stay tuned to the Literacy Hour every Tuesday morning, coming to you at 7 a.m. and ending at 8 a.m. But student enrollment across our state, 431,931 students. That's 430 some odd thousand students are going to school around our state. The daily average attendance, though, is 401,471. So wait a minute now. We got 431,930. So almost 432,000 students enrolled in school. But the average daily attendance is 401,000. Wait a minute now. 432,000 minus 401,000. That's 31,000 students. Where they're going during the day? Come on now, parents. Listen, I say school, church, get them up out of there. At least at my house, they would have to go. And my son, he's military now, and he's boxing and doing a great job. He got a fight coming up. I'll tell y'all all about that. Just stay tuned next time. This is a heavyweight boxer amongst us, you all. And so I'll tell you more about it if you stay tuned to the Literacy Hour. But Joshua knew there was no question. On Sunday, we're going to church, and through the week, he's going to school if he has to walk. But he get up on the bus, okay? He attended public school and did very, very well. Made it on over to West Point. Okay. And if he did it, then any other child can do it. And I'm very, very proud of him and his achievements. But $14,530 is the average expenditure per pupil based on the average net enrollment. That's what the superintendent's annual report says. Says that they spent about, well, I'm going to round it up to the nearest thousand. $15,000 on every pupil. That's a lot of money. Now, with that kind of money being spent per pupil, we should have some great learning going on. Okay. 32,540 classroom teachers. The average teacher salary, $54,975. That's not enough. $55,000 for them to deal with all of what comes through the door. Come on now, 55,000. Man, teachers need to be making six figures. What you think about that, Ms. Ara Answers?
Yes, I think teachers should make more than what they do. They deal with a lot. They deal
Mm,
with a lot when it comes to these kids nowadays. I do.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. Need to motivate them to districts, and we got 141 school districts, 613 elementary middle schools, 151 traditional high schools. That's grades 9 through 12. We got 10 charter schools. All right. Now, our state superintendent of education, he put a beautiful letter in here. His name is Lance Evans. Dr. Lance Evans is the state superintendent of education. And he was very proud to present this annual report. And I don't blame him, man. Thank you, sir. All right. Because we have had a transformation of our public education here in this state. And it's amazing. It was marked by national recognition because of the innovative things that we're doing now. And I'm just so grateful. We have a great national rankings. The state's education system reached a historic milestone. We climbed to number 16 in the nation. Number 16. Y'all listen, we were number 48 in 2014. And in 2025, we're now number 16. I don't care how you cut it. That is an amazing come up. Mississippi now ranks 31st in preschool enrollment for 4-year-olds. That's up from 35th the previous year. We remain one of only 5 states to meet all of the 10 benchmarks for preschool quality. See that? And so, listen, we have posted the report on our website. I want you to go there. You read the report for yourself. ttsfoundation.org. Click on the literacy hour and scroll down till you see today's resources, and you will learn everything you want to know about the state of our school districts throughout our beautiful Magnolia State, right there in that report. Listen, for the little time we have left, I want to share this legislation with you. I promised you that I would, and I know I'm going to run out of time because this House Bill 2 is huge. It's a Mississippi Educational Freedom Program Act of 2026 to establish and provide greater flexibility and opportunity for school choice, introduced by Representative Jason White and Jansen Owens, an act to create the Mississippi Education Freedom Act. Mississippi Education Freedom. It's going to provide that the office of the state treasurer shall administer the program. The state treasurer shall administer the program as the fund manager. I see. To authorize the fund manager to contract with certain educational assistance organizations. And to delegate certain functions to state agencies, including the State Department of Education, to prescribe the powers and duties of the fund manager, including application administration, eligibility verification, residency and income verification, account establishment and payment processes, prioritization and lottery administration. Oh, that reminds me, we need to talk a little bit about that lottery because some of that money was supposed to go to education. Got to check on that. Audit and compliance enforcement, 1-year exemption from certain state personnel board rules. What? This thing is loaded. I'm not going to have time to review all this. This thing, 3 pages long already, 4 pages long, 5 pages long. We're not going to have time to. I'm going to post this House bill as well to permit local school boards to designate a period of prayer and reflection at school events. Oh man, it is a lot in here. To require the use of automobile registrations as proof of residency when enrolling students in school, to require parents and legal guardians who do not own a vehicle to submit a signed affidavit attesting that no motor vehicle is owned. And my goodness, to abolish the former school districts following the administrative restructuring and provide the transfer of school district assets and liabilities. And wow. Okay. They're going to do a pilot program. This thing is loaded, Miss Ara Answers. And so you and I, we're going to have to come back. And we got a lot to discuss because There's some other legislation that impacts education. We got the Mississippi Medical Education Pipeline Act that I want to talk about. Representative Zakiya Summers introduced that bill, House Bill 1465. The Mississippi Career and Technical Education Employability Program, that's House Bill 562. We got a Mississippi Artificial Intelligence and STEM Education Act. That's House Bill 1605. We got a lot to talk about, and we're out of time now, so we will not be talking about it today. I'm so thankful, so glad that you all joined us here on the Literacy Hour. Miss Aura Answers, do you think you'll be back?
I think I will. I enjoyed this chat. I did.
Well, we enjoyed having you so much, and there was this song, and I don't know, you might end up knowing the song, and we're gonna take ourselves out on it.
Oh. Ha! Okay.
I hadn't even said anything yet, and you already ha.
Yes, I already. Sorry. It's BBL lemon pepper music.
Join us again next Tuesday, everyone, on the Literacy Hour.
Good, look great. Shaped like a number 8. Titties real, look fake. Yeah. Eat it up.